Hey, listen up. This is Jerry Harris, SPRB Radio Podcast Show. Check it out with 10-star General and Sharon Mango. A live conversation show. Check it out. Don't left it out. Oh yeah. Hey, SPRB Radio Podcast. SPRB Radio Podcast with 10-star General and Sharon Mango. Yeah, SPRB Radio Podcast. SPRB Radio Podcast. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Yes. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Now. Yes, SPRB Radio Podcast with 10 stars. Check it out. Sharon Mango. Check it out.
Well, all I can say is, Sly, welcome to the SPRB radio family. Can you have fun?
I say.
Today is a new day, oh, and I'm thankful. No time for regrets, no, but I'm hopeful. So many didn't get a chance, nah. So be grateful. Hey, things might not go my way, but me not complain. Life is a blessing, me I stay thankful.
I'm Janiceness, and I always tune in to the SPRB Radio Podcast with General Culture and Sister Sharon Mango. Yo, you don't have to take my word for it. Just tune in and catch the vibration. Yeah, this one is knockings.
Greetings, one and all. This is Chester Miller, and I fully endorse SPRB Radio Podcast with 10-star General and Sharon Mango. Trust me, you won't be disappointed, because they're spreading that loving feeling. Hey, one love.
4. This is Yami Bolo from out of Jamaica, and I fully endorse SPRB radio podcast with 10-star General and Sharon Mango. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. Bless the love. Yami Bolo for that.
Greetings, each and everyone. I'm 10-star General. I'm your host today alongside the beautiful who?
Sharon Mango. The original Mango, of course. The original Mango.
You're sounding perky after your little Thanksgiving something. Eating enough turkey in a trough.
Yeah, well, I cooked. So, yeah, it had to be good. But feel a little bit more rested. Do you know what I'm saying? A little bit of it's great.
What was it? Dry turkey or was it succulent turkey?
Succulent. We're not doing no dry turkey. Succulent. Succulent.
Well, it's great to be back. We're here with another episode of the Live Conversation Show. We have who have we got to be thankful for this show that's happening today? Coral
Reed. We are so thankful and so grateful because I have been following Sarah Tobias for a bit. Well, the song that she did, she did on, and I had no idea. I was like, who is this? And I began to share the song with some people in Barcelona. I was like, spread the word, because if you don't know about this lady, you're going to know about it now. Love her. So we are grateful, Corey. Thank you so much for this. We really appreciate. Big up, Miss Corey.
Definitely is phenomenal. Let's introduce our guest. Introduce her. Let's pop her up. As you bring in that lovely intro, give us an intro.
Well, greetings, one and all. I am happy to present our esteemed guest, one of a kind, this little
Woo!
beauty queen, this little powerhouse who just drops jewels everywhere she goes. The
Oh,
incomparable, amazing Miss Sarah Tobias.
woo, 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 woo.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
How you doing, Sarah?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Okay, let's just turn up our volume here. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Okay. So we're
You
we're
might have
gonna
to,
get into the sorry?
she might have to turn up a bit though. Just a bit, Sarah, if you can.
All
The
right.
Yeah,
volume.
yeah.
Turn myself up a bit.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe that might do it. Yeah. Now, Sarah gave me a little bit of a mini palpitated heart attack this morning. Uh, uh, can you believe two of her computers crashed? You wouldn't believe it. And
Stop
I
it.
don't know how Sarah did it, but she did it. She put on those roller skates and she pulled a rabbit out of a hat. How she did it, I just don't know, but she did it.
Wow, Sarah. Wow. Look at that.
Well, I'm very grateful to Digital Doctor in Dalston for fixing a new hard drive into this computer to bring to
Oh,
you.
Digital Doctor. Big
Mm.
up yourself because you helped the Queen. You start out our business. Digital Doctor.
Now, if you need your computers fixed, Digital Doctor is the man.
Digital Doctor. UK in Dalston.
Yep.
In Dalston. People, look him up.
Sarah, it's a blessing to have you on the show today. We are gonna, get into your history from the very beginning to where you are today. So we're just gonna have fun with it. We're gonna have a conversation.
The
So
conversations.
between Sharon and I, we're just going to get into it. So I'm going to let Sharon take you down the earliest part of your journey, where it all began, and then I'm going to jump into the conversation here and there, adding my 2 cents worth or whatever, So Sharon, so if you get into it, and then I will come in here and there. Let's
Sarah.
first, before you start, so sorry, let's acknowledge
What?
some of the people who may be on there listening.
So let's acknowledge DJ Maestro, of course, who's also a huge, huge, huge fan of
We
Sarah
have
Tobias.
Hannah Tobias as well.
Hannah Tobias, and we have Marsha Lambert.
Marsha Lambert.
Tuned in. Yeah.
We have quite a few people logged in. I can't see the names. However,
I
to
can't see
whoever is
it.
logged in on Facebook and YouTube, thank you for logging in. Okay, so let's
Yes.
get into it. Yeah.
Yes. Greetings, Sarah. We're so happy again to have you here. I mean, I will say thank you for taking the time to talk to us because you're like, who are we? Where am I going? SPRB Radio, the live conversation, but you're going to know about it today. Sarah, tell us. Like, where were you born in London? Like, London, wherever you were born, mum, dad, mum and your dad, your brothers and your sisters. Like, what was early life for you, Sarah Tobias?
Well, I was born in Manchester, England.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Manchester.
And, yes. And my mum and dad were also born in England. And then when it goes back, a few generations back, so my mum's mum was born in England and her dad was born in Syria, and then dad's mum and dad were born in England as well. But then the ancestors all came from Eastern Europe, and then background from Greece, Eastern Europe, Northern Europe, and Syria. And so I was born at Old Trafford, like quite close to Old Trafford. And I have a little brother, and he also is musical. He loves music as well. And my mum and dad love music so much, and we were very lucky because they had a fabulous record collection and we had all kinds of music to listen to at home. So that was a really nice beginning. So, you know, to have that upbringing. So we all loved music and the family.
Right. So that of course just means that you was really just exposed to everything, all genres of music, right? Which is that's always a blessing. It's not just one thing, you're just exposed to all. So growing up in the household, it's just you and you have a younger brother, right? So
Yeah.
So what was early school life like? Like, what did you aspire to be?
I wanted to be an astronaut.
Okay.
I forgot that later on. I got distracted with doing music, so I didn't worry about that too much. But that was when I was very little.
Yeah.
And then writing, I was interested in the idea of writing. But again, really, the music just ended up happening. So, but in a way, because I write horn parts and melodies, so it did come out in a way. But not with the words. Very wordy. I'm more with tunes. I prefer to communicate with tunes. Yeah.
And music. Yeah, well, you do well with it. So again, for school now, how did you even let me rephrase the question. What attracted you to the flute instruments? Like, what was it about flute instruments that you were so drawn to that you eventually started to utilize to play?
Well, it was I just saw one of the older girls playing clarinet at school, and it was just one of those things, you know, when you just get a light bulb going off. I was like,
yes,
I want to do that.
Yes.
That was it. You know, when you just see something or hear something and it just grabs you. And where we went to school in West Yorkshire, and they've got a very strong music department in the schools there. So anybody, doesn't matter what school you go to, I don't know if it's the same now. It was last time I checked with a few people. You get the chance to play musical instruments, and it doesn't depend on your parents' income or anything like that. The schools have got provision for instrument tuition. So when we were little, we got to play instruments at school. And then also we had Saturday band that we played in, and go into town and play with the wind orchestra. So I was playing clarinet in the wind orchestra, and so I got my first experience of playing on vinyl. That was 44 years ago, so I've still got the album, and my dad's got about 20 of them in the loft.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and but that was great. I'd actually met the music teacher a few months ago. He was traveling over to England, so we met up and had dinner and a coffee and everything. So that was nice.
Yeah, so that was really nice.
I started that wind orchestra up to make sure that everybody gets to play music from a young age. Yeah.
And what was that?
Sorry?
I said, and what age was that? Around what age was that?
Okay, so then, so I was 13 then.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Go ahead, Tim. Sorry.
So did I hear you right? I mean, back in school days, you did music lessons and all that kind of stuff, right?
I had clarinet lessons at school. We shared a lesson. Yeah, we shared.
Okay.
So there might be a couple of instruments between you all, and then you took it in turns to take them home so you could practice at home.
Right.
Yay! I remember those days.
Because we used to have music lessons in our school, and
yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I only took the recorder and the guitar.
Sorry?
I took on the recorder. I love the recorder, like clarinet.
Oh, recorder, right.
And then guitar.
You're right. But the only person in our school that I could ever remember that played a saxophone was Delian Brown.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Oh
And
Yeah,
that's
she
why I
did.
mentioned it. Yeah, yeah. He was the only person in our school that I know that played the
Oh,
saxophone.
yes, that's
I
right.
think he
That's
still
right.
plays it to this day, you know. So
Yeah.
so so something twigged when you saw the what instrument was it? The clarinet.
What is
It
it?
was.
Clarinet. She said that she wanted. Yeah, but that's a
Right,
beautiful instrument to look at. To me, it's the most. I think it's
right,
beautiful.
right.
I was scared. I was scared to play it.
I was actually sharing with Sarah that the first time I saw a clarinet was when my brother decided to play his first instrument ever, and he went to a record store, sorry, a music shop where they sell instruments. That was on Willesden High Street. I think Sparky
Mm.
might know where I'm talking about on Willesden High
Yeah,
Street.
yeah.
Sparky, big up your chest and bless up Newton Coke. Thank you for being there. But I remember going down to, he went down to Willesden High Street and bought a clarinet within a month of listening to a man called Bilk, Stranger on the Shore. Ooh,
Mm.
Jesus. I'm telling you, he learned the clarinet within a month. I didn't know it could be done in a month, you know. And no matter how much I tried to play that clarinet, it just wasn't happening, you know. What was it about the clarinet? What is it about? Can I call it wind instruments?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What is it about wind instruments in itself that you ended up learning about three or four of them?
Yes, I don't know. I just seem to find it easier because really I wanted to play the guitar at first. I was attracted to
Mm,
the guitar. I loved listening to the guitar, but I'm just not very good at. I can play it a little bit.
mm,
I find it easy. It's just one note at a time, and it's quite like the voice, except
right.
it's
Yeah.
notes rather than the words. And I just, I don't know what it is, but I just.
I guess it's learning how to play it from the diaphragm, right?
Mm, yeah, it's just like breathing out music.
Breathing out music. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Give us a little taster on like for instance, what are the first few lessons we need to know about learning how to play that clarinet?
Well, the first thing we did was learn how to play this. Well, the first thing we did, we had to play it just this bit on its own.
Mm,
Oh, yes. The reed.
This
What do they
bit.
call it?
And
okay.
then when you got to do that, then you learn where to put your hands on the instrument. And then
Mm,
the first note I played was E. So you
right.
thumb on the back and you hold this finger here.
Mm,
That's E. And then
right.
you learn D and C. And then with those three notes you can do, because you know with three notes you can do a lot of tunes, can't you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Give us a little bit of Stranger on the Shore.
All right then.
She's like, all right then. Wow.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
It was
Bravo.
always, yeah, it's always something about that song that like touches my heart. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's always
And
something.
it was the first piece that my brother ever learned to play. You know, as you leave school now, you go from being in high school, entering into the big bad world. What is it that happens for Sarah? Is it music? Was music something you wanted to embark on as you left school, or I know you say you wanted to become an astronaut, and that didn't kind of work for you, right? Sorry. I wanted to become a pilot. That didn't work for me, but you know, but
Oh,
what do you go through in those situations? You know, you wanted to become an astronaut. Lead us how to to the point where music becomes part of your life
When I was
professionally.
at school, I went to live in Liverpool, and
Mm,
um, I had a go on a saxophone. We were working at a place called the Blackie, the Great Georges Project, and
mm,
I had a little go on the saxophone, and that was interesting. And but I kind of parked it up for a bit and
mm,
really come back to it for a while. I was doing a bit of backing vocals when I was a college student. And,
mm,
I
okay.
did some backing vocals with a friend's band. The person I was living
Mm.
with, drummer of the band, and so we went along to do some shows, and me, a couple of the other women, did backing vocals. And then when I left college, um, I was introduced to some musicians,
mm,
and one of them, Suzanne, played the drums, and also she played the clarinet. And I said, "Oh, I used to play that," so I helped her a little bit with it. And in the end, I ended up getting another clarinet because I hadn't had one for a while. And I joined a band with her and her friend Ian, and that was a street band. So we played at loads of outdoor places,
mm,
and that continued for a few years,
mm.
playing with this band. Yeah, and I'm still in touch with people from that band,
Right.
in Liverpool. Yeah.
How did reggae come into your life?
Well, as I said, when my parents were at home, they had reggae music as part of their collection. There
Okay.
was music as well, but I've heard a lot of people like with Caribbean backgrounds saying they weren't allowed to play reggae at home. It was like, take that off, stop playing that at home
Yeah,
stuff.
for
Where
some it's true. Yeah, believe it or not, that's true. For some people, it was.
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy,
Okay.
isn't it? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whereas with me, my mum was listening to Peter Tosh when she was doing the hoovering and Bob Marley, everything like that. We had all
Oh, tell me
Who's
more.
who?
Tell me more. So, Mama was a music rebel.
Yeah, she was. I love it. Yeah.
and let's see now. I've forgotten now where we were now. I've kind of got back.
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Wow, how reggae became a part of your
Oh
world.
yeah.
As your mum.
Oh yes.
played it.
I was playing together with some musicians when I got to London. There was a place called the Samuel Pepys, which is attached to the Hackney Empire, and
Okay.
have music sessions there. So when I first arrived in London, we used to do music sessions, and so you met musicians from all over the world who used to go in there. That was really nice. And there was a couple of musicians. One of them was Jag Loeb, who is not with us anymore, but he played the saxophone and flute. Now,
Okay.
when he passed, they suggested I could go and play at his 9-night. And then the drummer, Jarbunny, decided that I could kind of take over some of the jobs that he'd been doing. So he started giving my phone number to everybody. So I just went from there. But at that time, I was mainly playing with a merengue band and a salsa band, and also an electronic pop band. So I've always done lots of different genres of music.
Right.
So, and then, but once I got into the reggae scene, I have had lots of experience in that in the past, 10, 15 years. So I've been through some great experiences and got to work with all kinds of people that I never
So,
did.
so your first professional play would have been what year, would you say?
Well, when we were doing the street band, got a job, like a regular job, playing in a bar in Liverpool, and then also we used to busk every weekend. And by that time, the band leader decided that we should swap from clarinets to saxophones because clarinets are not very loud for playing on the street without amplification.
Right.
So I got a saxophone for that reason. I really like the clarinet, the sound of the clarinet, but I kind of grew into sax because people just asked me to play it all the time, kind of got busy with it. So yeah, we were busking and making like a fair bit of money on the weekends busking. And also we traveled around playing at street festivals. So we played in some different ones, you know, England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland. We also went traveling to France and Spain. Band. And also when we was playing at Covent Garden, we won a street band competition and we played at the Houston International Festival.
Right.
So, and then also we played in New Orleans as well. So this was when I was in and
so would you say your first professional play would have been like late 80s, 90s?
I think something like that. Yeah, let's have a look. When was it? 1990s. Yeah, like late 80s and 90s. At first, we were playing at lots of demonstrations, and like anti-war demonstrations and things like that.
Right.
Part of the band kind of broke off to do paid jobs as well.
Right.
The both sides of it, like the ones that was for political purposes, and then the ones that was for making money.
Right.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now, I used to remember back in the day, I used to somehow frequent down Covent Gardens, and there you would see a hell of a lot of people who were busking around that time. I think, and then I remember walking down. I don't think you were ever around Brixton during the times when I used to be, but I do remember a lady called Is it Meganu? The Japanese lady. Yeah. How do you pronounce her name?
Megumi.
Megumi, yeah. I used to see Megumi round about the Brixton area. And she was doing pretty well, actually, and doing very well right now. How did the busking scheme go for you? Were people paying attention to, your greatness in the making?
We did it as a band. There was like 10 of us at least.
Oh, as a band, okay.
Oh, wow.
And we played. Yeah, so we had saxophones, trumpet, trombones. We had a tuba player, Tank. He played the tuba. He played the bass lines.
Oh, wow.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
All the instruments, yes.
Right.
Wow.
So it wasn't backing tracks. It was all live instruments. Yeah.
Right.
And then I went on to join another band, which was based in Manchester. And they were playing Brazilian and jazz. So I played percussion and saxophone with them.
Right.
Nice. Yeah. They've been going for a long, long time as well. And they're kind of related with the samba bands who you will see at Carnival.
Right.
Yeah. So street percussion, Bataclan.
Right. So let's get into the specific record labels calling you up now, and when did that recognition happen for you? Because on a lot of productions, you've done a lot of work, with various record labels, let's talk about your very first, recognition as, somebody calling you up and say, "Hey, Sarah, come and do something for us." Where did that happen?
Do you know what? I can't even remember the first one.
Mm.
I remember my first time.
Right. But you've had quite a few record labels call you up and stuff like. I think you've done stuff with Stingray and all those guys, right?
Yes, yeah. I work for like a lot. I do it for a job all the time, and I record at home a lot of the time. So
Okay.
days I'm recording for like 3 or 4 different people, and But sometimes I'll go into a studio, somebody will call me and I'll go and do a whole day
Right.
in a studio.
You know, one thing I've noticed is that a lot of musicians, I would say don't really get the recognition they deserve. I know a lot of emphasis are always placed on the artist, but the musicians do a tremendously great job. How
Yes, they
hard has
do.
it been to get some sort of recognition? Do you feel as a musician?
Well, I wasn't
Or,
trying.
or would you say it is a struggle? Is it a struggle?
Um, it's just regarded differently, I think, because the singer is seen as the focal point
Face.
for a
Yeah.
band. But a lot of the musicians that I've worked with, they've been doing this for longer than me, and they're very important in creating the sound of lovers rock, the sound of reggae, the sound of dancehall, or which the vocals are sitting on. So they're vitally important. And I wasn't trying to push myself into the forefront. In fact, every time I've tried to do it, something I always feel a bit reluctant to push myself forward there, because there are so many people I've worked with who maybe have been on tour with some of these huge artists for years, like been on the road with them for years, or they've played on so many of those hit records. And I'm still quite new to it in that respect. So
Right.
I'm really glad to see that they're all getting recognition now.
Right.
Starting to get a lot more airtime, and also
Right.
talking about just the things that tend to get left in the background, like the business side of it, talking the rights of the writers,
Right.
musicians, and artists to get paid for their work, and
Right.
their royalties and decent contracts and things like that, which a lot of people didn't know about. But now, because of social media, people can go on and say, well, actually, that hit that I made, I never got money for it. Like, what? We can
Right.
talk
Yeah.
about how
Yeah.
music has been changing over the years. And so all of these aspects are really good
Yeah.
to talk about now.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sharon. I don't want to take up the.
Yeah, I was gonna come to basically what you're touching upon now, because I was thinking to myself, well, first of all, when you were with the band, right? You all 10 of you, was it original music that you were playing, or was it just covers? Like what was happening then in regards to what you're bringing to the table? Like, how did that work?
Well, we were doing mainly covers to start off with, and we were playing music. There was some music like some ska tunes, like South African tunes, Eastern European tunes. It was a real mixture of music. And we did write a couple of tunes. I helped to write a couple of the tunes, and was used for a theme tune for one of the festivals. So that was nice.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
So
we
now,
went on to, a few of the band went on to form, because it was kind of mixed, like men and women, half and half. We went on to form an all-women busking band as well for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good. That was quite a long time ago. But in between, we've done lots and lots of different bands, and mainly doing reggae music. Because of the way that it's created, I have had the opportunity to do lots of writing, because the nice thing about it is that somebody will come up with a rhythm track, and then they give you the that space to just do something,
create
or put the icing on the cake. And I found that I was good at doing that. So that's because I was building rhythms at first. I started doing that about 15 years ago, and I still do it occasionally, but I find it easier just doing that last piece of the work where they say, okay, we've got this track, we were just about to put it out, and we thought, it'd be nice to have a bit of, sprinkling of something on the top. And that's what I I found that I was my niche, so I kind of concentrate on that really.
Yeah. That is what I find interesting. But for you now, let's see, my question to you is that you've basically, it just seems like you've been managing your own kind of stuff, like it's Sarah Tobias stuff, right? You're not with a label, you've just worked with labels and artists and whoever, but you're a sole entity. Is that correct?
Yes, kind of self-employed, but I'm working for a lot of different people.
Right. You're just contracted, because that's what it said. I said, you know what? I'm gonna tell you. Let me just say this. That's the best place to be. You know that, right? You do what you do. You do what you need to do. You bring what you need to bring to the table. I think it's a beautiful thing that when you're contracted like that, you can say, okay, they just send you the project, you take care of it, and you did it. You know exactly what to do as a woman in the industry also. I think it's a very beautiful thing that you're doing. You're handling your own business. And you seem to be doing it quite well. So was that always what you wanted to do? Like, you didn't want anybody to tell you what to do. You wanted to manage your own stuff. That way you bring your beauty to the music. Is that how you've always been, or?
It's just kind of happened like that. What happened at first, when I first started playing with bands, I was in lots of different bands and I couldn't decide, I couldn't settle on one. I was in a rock band over here and a punk band over there, in a high life band over here, and I couldn't seem to decide where I wanted to be. And sometimes people need commitment so they can carry out what they want to do. But then eventually I found out that I'm a kind of session head, which I never knew what that was, but I like to just go in.
Yeah.
Love it.
I love it. That's why I brought it up, because I was like, this woman here, I don't understand the magnitude of what you're doing. But I love it. I think it's great. And I think that you then just become more conscious of what's going on out there, what you are contributing, and seeing what you're getting for your contributions, right? As opposed to the people that we even spoke about before, like they could say, oh, that track is mine, but I didn't get nothing from it. That's a sin. But you seem to have taken control of your business. When did you become aware of how the business works in that regard? Like, when did you know, I'd better be careful what I'm doing?
Well, very late, and through talking with the other musicians. So I only heard about PRS and PPL when I was playing in this electrical pop band, and the bass player Rachel said, "Oh, you all need to join PRS and PPL," which that's the first time I'd heard the facts of life, the musical facts of life. So with PRS and PPL, and then working with other horn players, specifically working with Patrick and Henry Matic-Tenu, who because they've been in the business so long, and they give me lots of guidance as to how you should approach things. What do you do when somebody wants you to do a whole instrumental rather than just put little horn parts on, and also just the basics of actually how to put together arrangements and kind of thing. Yeah. But I did go to music college for a year when I was in my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
A year I did GCSE music. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So I have to tell you. No, go ahead. No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Young people are really taking it seriously and learning music business at school and college, and so they've got a lot of a good overview of how to go about things and make sure everything's done correctly. I'm still learning about it as I go along. But some some of the youngers have come into it knowing everything. And also some of the elders have taught me a lot about, when you do a recording session, like in those days, it used to be on paper. You'd fill in your piece of paper, who did what, who played what, who contributed towards the writing. Then you work out your percentages, and then everything's sorted out. Yeah. But in those days, when I talk to the senior people in the reggae industry, they tell me about in the old days, it was very different from now, where we've got streaming and online music. They would go to the record company. They'd say, okay, well, they give you them their dough and say, okay, well, we've sold so many records, so here's some money, and we're going to make some more now. It's a bit different. I mean, we're getting more back to the vinyl. So there's I don't know where they are. I've got some vinyl somewhere. Anyway, there's quite a lot of stuff I've got now that's coming out on vinyl, put out by lots of different productions. So that's definitely, as we know, it's all coming back again. The vinyl.
Yeah. No, but it is, Sarah. It is. And you know what? I love it. I love it. It's tangible. I can look and say, you see this? I could frame it. You know what I'm saying? It has to come back to that. I think that as time evolves and, people try new things, all the digital this and all the digital that, everything, it's like full circle. Everything becomes full circle. It goes around, that may have worked, and let's bring it back to how it is. Everything always becomes full circle. It's amazing. I love the fact that we're going to have vinyl again. So it is what it is. I can't wait. I'm just going to have to find me a nice little gram, because, back in the day, I don't know, your dad had one. You had a gram in your house, right? Well, those were very bulky things, but I would love to have one. I swear to you, I'm going to get somebody to build me one. The gram was one of the most beautiful instruments that we all can say that we shared in our lifetime. We all had a gram in our house, right? We all had a gram.
I'm not old enough.
Oh, shut up. You so You was out when the white kids were going out. You're so funny. You told everybody, Sharon has been around since the wind-up gram. You know about that? No. Lies.
Lord. So now that you're working with various record labels and you become one of the most sought after multi-instrumentalists, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you're one of the most sought after musicians in our industry today. And I'm trying to figure out what uphill struggles you've had along the way to get to where you are today.
Right. Well, self-confidence has built along the way, because I kind of came into this by accident. So had to just be confident that I was on the right track and just keep going with it. And
did you feel like you could make money from this? Because you got to you got to be able to survive, right? Right. And so in terms of making money, what goes through your mind as a musician?
Well, I do recording kind of whenever I'm not performing bands. So I'll get called in when somebody needs a horn player.
Right.
Also, I do like saxophone and DJ at parties.
Okay.
Events.
Right.
Sometimes, occasionally, I'll go out and do a street thing when I'm booked to do it. I don't really. So I've done a couple of events for if the council wants some outdoor music.
Okay.
I do that. So I've got a portable speaker with flashing lights and everything.
Right.
So I'll put my music through that, and then I can
jam.
and then that's it. And then recording the rest of the time.
Right. So I guess, like you said, sorry, go ahead.
That's all right. I do some other thing. Singers sometimes come around here to record.
Recordings, okay.
Yeah, so they will sing, and then I'll do. That's what I'm kind of good at. Editing. I'm quite good at editing. So
Right.
if I do it too much, say it sounds too perfect, and can you put some?
Right.
Because I used to be a cleaner, so I'm good at all that. So yeah,
Right.
editing. Sometimes people bring me tracks and they need splicing or whatever, or it's got
Right.
clicks, splices. So I do little things like that for people as well.
Right.
All those. So there's always something that needs doing.
Right.
And, if I'm busy, I can recommend to somebody else who can do it. Yeah.
Right.
There's always. I've been lucky. There's always work coming in. So.
Right. Now, at some point, you said that you learned about the business part of things. What led up to that point? What led you up to that point? What was the straw that broke the camel's back in terms of, you having to learn the industry? I mean, learn the business. So, for instance, somebody calls you to create a riff. Obviously, you have to get paid for the melody you create on the rhythm, right?
Yes. So you get paid a session fee for recording. Or you can do a swaps with sometimes some producers. We do a swap, so they'll build rhythms for me. If I'll do some horns, but about 98% or something, I do it with dough, and then sometimes we do it with swaps, and then you can work out if you've done something that adds something to the tune enough, then it will a writer's credit as well. But I found that it's kind of changing now. In the olden days, when you did an instrumental, they didn't name what you call it, version or instrumental, or they this name. Whereas now they're tending to start crediting the person who's playing the instrument. I mean, some people always insisted on that, but then you kind of learn over time. To ask, will my name be on? I wanted to. Yeah. And also, when we did the same band where the double bass player was telling us about joining PRS and PPL, the singer had signed to a label, so there was a contract to do with the songs, and the singer insisted that all the musicians had a percentage share of the writing credits, so that when the music gets used, because that band, the music's been used in adverts and TV and everything, had lots of airplay. So we all get royalties from that.
Right.
So
now let's take something like Green Life or Green Lights, which was created off the melody of the Blackstones, right?
Yes.
What happens in that circumstance?
Well, that was Tony. That was Tony Mahoney from the Blackstones. He wrote the tune of that. And when they asked me to do an instrumental, I just picked melody out of my head. It's so sweet. Right. So I just said, well, can I just play over the melody that Tony was playing? So that's what Tony did. Right. That was. And then
so in that instance, you just get one particular fee, right? Which would be you just get your royalties off the sales of that particular tune, right?
Yeah. How did that work? I think that one, the rhythm track.
Because I'm trying to the thing I'm trying to get at is I'm trying to figure out if you end up creating an original melody, original piece of a song, then you get another separate fee. Maybe I got it wrong in my head, but I'm trying to figure out if you create an original melody rather than copy the melody of an already existing song.
Oh yeah, if you've written, but then if somebody else wrote the rhythm track, then they are to be credited because they wrote the rhythm track.
As well. That's right.
You percentage for the bit that you added to it.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But I think reggae music is quite different from a lot of other things because there's so much recycling of
a rhythm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
There is one particular song I came across today. Funny enough, I'm gonna maybe just play a few bars of it. It's something called let's see, this Deadly Weapon. Let me see if I can play it. You know what that song reminds me of? It reminds me of Riding West. I don't know if you know that Tommy McCook song. There's a song by Tommy McCook and it's called Riding West. The way in which you blow that. Now, what instrument is that? That's the sax, right?
That's a tenor. This one, tenor sax. Yeah.
Oh, tenor sax. Okay, yeah, beautiful. Absolutely love it. Now, that you must draw a lot of inspiration from some of those oldies. Hmm?
Oh yes, yes, yeah. It's lovely to listen to the people who came before me, and they've got huge influence. The sound, the melodies,
Yeah.
the vibe.
And you're
But
very creative technologically.
oh yeah,
Yes.
but that tune is Ansel Collins. Ansel Collins sent me that and asked me to play the sax on it. That's
Right, Ansel Collins, right.
Oh, yeah, Ansel. Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me about, hold on there. One of my favorites. Well, let me say this. I'm going to call him out. DJ Maestro from the Lovers Rock Radio show, right? Timeless music. Okay, so he always had this theme song that would play in the beginning. And when we all got together and was just talking, I said, I never asked you put the track that you play. I said, it's your intro. It's a track that you play. Who is this person? Like, I'm so in love with this track. And he was like, wait, which one? I said, your intro. And he goes, oh, it's Sarah Tobias. Oh my God. I would record it on my phone just to listen to that part. And
sorry.
And I said, what is the name of it? And he sent it to me. Tell me about From the Heart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes. Well, that track. Hang on. Do you know what? I've got to find it on here so I can. Excuse me a minute. Sorry.
No problem.
Let's see if I can find it and then see. I can see because I can remember that when they sent it to me, I just had to write a tune on it. So I wrote the tune, put the horns on it, and then one of the other bands used it they kept some of the horns in so that they had the singing going around it. So they kept some of it as like a section. Yeah.
Oh my God, the track. That's one of my absolute favorites. And I actually sent it to somebody recently because I said, you need to listen to. The person asked me, well, what kind of music do you like? I'm like a mentor at my job. What kind of music do I like that inspires me? So I said, well, this particular lady and the guy didn't know too much about reggae. I said, it's more like a jazz reggae fusion. And I said, but I'll need you to listen to this track. And then you come back to me and tell me what you got out of it. Because if you got the same feeling I did, then I've done my job, and so is Sarah Tobias. Because I'm spreading the love. I love that track.
Oh, thank you very much. All right, so I found it out. Gary Digitech produced the track. And then I put my daughter did a painting when she was little, and I put that on there was going to be a picture of my mug, but I asked him, can I put my daughter's picture instead? Because it's just
yeah.
So let's just play a few seconds of it.
Such a great song. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you. I love that track.
Okay. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Well,
Oh God, it's beautiful.
So, how long does it take you to write an original piece?
well, what I like to do now is to try and do it as more naturally. Like overthink things a bit much. So I'm trying to do it a bit more naturally. So I just listen to the tune and then grab an instrument and play, like record through it like once or twice. And
Okay.
then try and take those ideas. But then sometimes what I would do, I would just sleep on it and then see what sticks with me the next day if I've got time to do it. And then just pick out the bits that I want, and then I kind of decorate with other instruments. Yeah.
And because in speaking to you a little bit earlier, you were talking about confidence. How did you work on your confidence to where it is today?
What I found hard is when you get an idea. If you get an idea, you think, "Oh, I must have got it from somewhere," because you're not sure if it's that idea has just come down to you from
Right,
or if you heard it yesterday on another and then you're just copying it. So at first when I write tunes, I would go through all my music and think, oh, maybe that was the Bee Gees that wrote that. So I'm sure that sounds like something or other. And I used to spend all this time listening to everything to make sure I wasn't copying from somewhere. I stopped doing that in the end because the work's coming in too fast. You've got to just keep putting it in. And obviously, if I found out that I'd copied something, then I'll put something else on it instead.
Okay. Oh, awesome.
The original ideas just come to you, isn't it? So
yeah, it's supposed to happen freely.
It's supposed to happen freely, yes, but you were second guessing yourself. And you know what she said makes so much sense, because you then say to yourself, it's like you can apply that to many things in your life, right? And something will come to you, and you have to second, well, where did it come from? And you do take those 10 steps back and be like, did somebody tell me this? Did I read that somewhere? When it was you were even your own inspiration. So that makes so much sense, Sarah. Like I get that.
You're just channeling it spiritually. So you're like the vessel channeling the ideas. So
exactly.
Anybody got the opportunity to be the bearer of tunes or whatever it is that they're bringing. You just have to trust it, isn't it? Just like if you hear a voice saying to you, don't go right, go left, and you go, all right then, don't question it.
Yeah, true. Same, exactly. The same thing applies. So let me ask you now, what is your favorite genre of music that you like to play for? Like, what really inspires you?
Well, I like uplifting, anything uplifting, and I love all kinds of dance music. I like listening to in fact, before I got into doing reggae music, it was everything had to be fast.
Okay.
But then that kind of the reggae got me into a different vibration, which I also really enjoy. And also the lyrics, because the lyrics of the tunes, they're talking about the issues that I want to talk about. For instance, we was at rehearsal the other day with Keety Roots. We did a show a little while ago and we had a rehearsal, and I just love all of his lyrics because he's talking about all these different issues of today that needs expressing. And I just find it, even though I can't express them in words, he sings about them. So and the way that I feel, it makes me feel relieved that we've got those issues out there and talked about them.
Right.
So on the political level and also on the the consciousness raising level, talking about love. So for lyrics wise, reggae music is really great. But then I love dance music of all kinds, like house music, dance music, Merengue, salsa. I love all of it.
Have you got to be in like a particular mood in order to create? If somebody just comes to you with anything and says you're the person to create something on this, whatever the mood is, whether it's a slow or fast beat, have you got to be in that particular kind of mood in order to create, or have you got to listen to it a couple of times before you can create that energy?
Usually I can tune into it pretty much straight away, but sometimes you have to get an angle. If you can't tune into it straight away, you have to kind of find an angle of your own, something that might be your thing, in a way that you can get in there, find the angle of getting in there. But most of it just speaks to me straight away, and I'm like, yeah, all right then.
Right.
Put something on it.
So pretty much your brain is always ticking, right? Pretty much always creating in your mind.
Always going.
Yes.
Are you always whistling or doing one thing or the other?
My hands are always practicing on my knees.
Right.
Like the drama, yeah.
Yeah, I think when my daughter explained to me that I'm neurodivergent, so I haven't been like. My daughter's kind of assessed me, so that kind of helps actually. To know
man, my brain is. Listen, you got to explain that one to me. Neurodivergent.
I love that she's neurodivergent. I love it.
I've never heard it before.
Of the Divergent movie series.
And part of that is, I know you were saying that I'm self-employed, but I work with lots of different people. I've never been much of a leader. I've always been a follower. And so part of it was to find the people who should I be following in order to be the best I can be. And following. So all of these people is like a huge, huge musical family. It gives me a little space where I just fit in just right.
Okay. And so now, where's your mindset when you now create? Are you now, what's the word? Free to create? Are you now in a good space where now whatever you create is your own? It's not under tension. Am I saying the right words? You know what I mean? Where you're not creating freely.
Yes, there are limitations. Like there's limitations to my knowledge. I'm not very highly trained, but within, I think what some of the people who are just a couple of years older than me, who came through the punk movement, and their whole ethos was that you don't necessarily have to be trained in order to do something. You can just do something. Obviously, it's going to be on a different kind of. It's going to be a different kind of. But that whole idea of the can do, no matter what.
And funny enough, because I bought your album, which you have out there right now, it's a brilliant album, Stronger Every Day. It is, I think it was done in 2015. It's a brilliant album. Absolutely brilliant. If you haven't got it, I do suggest it, you know. Stronger Every Day. There's many brilliant tracks on it. I'm just going to play one more. Here's another one, which I kind of love. It's called In Your Hands. All right. No word of a lie. You kind of remind me of Tommy McCook when you play.
Oh.
For some reason, it's like everything, because I was a big fan of Tommy McCook back in the day,
Mhm.
and for every time I hear you play, for some reason, Tommy McCook comes into my head, you know.
True.
So it
This is
sounds
true.
like you keep to the basics, the foundation of
Mhm.
the music, which made it great. So when we listen to it today, it doesn't feel like we've lost anybody,
Mhm.
I'm talking about the great musicians.
Yeah.
We've lost people like Nambo and all the greats, guys who used to blow those trumpets, saxophones, whatever, and they still live. I mean, there's a guy called, I think, Patrick Matic. Is that his name? There's quite a few guys out there
Yeah,
who's
that's really good.
blowing
Yeah,
these
that's
wind instruments. They're doing a great job.
Hmm.
A lot of them are doing a great job,
He's
and
my,
you're.
he's my favourite arrangements. I love his horn arrangements. They're
Oh
brilliant.
yeah,
Yeah.
great,
Mhm.
absolutely great. And you're playing a
Mhm.
great part in this too. So we have to salute you for what you do, and the great music that you provide. Like I say, Sarah Tobias has a brilliant album out there. It's called "In Your Hands."
In your
That's the
hands,
only
yeah.
album I was. Sorry, it's called "Stronger Every Day." The track I played was
Mhm.
"In Your
Well,
Yeah.
Hands."
this one was that was Leon, because the Blackstones voiced an album at mine, but that Leon said, "Why don't you do some instrumental versions?" So those tracks were already built. I just went.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So do you have any plans on creating another album anytime soon?
There's a couple of albums coming out soon, like where I'm doing the sax and flute and clarinet on them. Yeah,
Mm,
there's a couple coming out. One of them's just being mixed at the moment,
mm,
and then there's another one that's getting ready to be mixed. Yeah, and then in the
mm.
meantime, I'm just doing lots of projects with different
right.
bands, and
Individual. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
But I didn't
Wow.
concentrate too much on putting out a thing with my name, because there's so much going on just working for different people. I've just got to
right.
Yeah.
go along with that more, because I haven't got the right kind of brain to think about creating my own thing. I can do it musically wise, but the whole, you have to know
Mm,
the business side of marketing and everything like that.
right.
Yeah.
So how does that go for you in terms
Wow.
of the marketing and raising the awareness, and how do you find that in today's digital era?
Well, I just find that actually I've got to stop for a commercial break. This single is available now from Salobi International, a new 45.
I love
And things like that. And by the way, this book that I was working with Princess Emmanuel Jabor, and she put together this book, Poetry for Grenfell. She's
right,
in the area there, and she's always been doing workshops like music, dance, poetry, art with people of all
right,
ages.
right.
When the Grenfell Tower had the fire, she
Mm,
put together local community and put this poetry book together.
right.
And she's the one who makes me want to do whole tunes, because
Mm,
again, she's got the lyrics and the vision. She's like, Sarah Babes, can you just build? I just need a track to this poem. So Sarah Babes, can you just make a track so I can
yeah,
put this poem on? And I'm like, all right then.
yeah.
And and then I've got this. This one's good. Have you read this? This is good.
Hold it. Oh, Tim, I haven't got my copy yet.
This is
No, I haven't got my copy yet. Yeah, we
Yeah,
had them on
yeah,
our show, and I knew that was coming out. Oh, yeah, I haven't got my copy yet.
yeah.
I reached out to him and be like, "Can I have my own signed copy, Tipper?"
Yes.
I
Yeah.
loved him.
It's very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
And
I heard
I'm
it.
trying to get, there's a few other people around me. I'm trying to get them to write their autobiographies as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
So when can we expect your autobiography?
My one.
Yeah. 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 Yes,
you said that like
Sarah.
you don't count. Of course you count. You're a mini maestro.
You're literally,
I'm I'm very
literally.
pleased to be on your program, and this just to give us a little taste of sharing the story, and then
Mm.
from this, yes, then it goes from there.
Well, you know, again, I don't think musicians get a lot of, awareness surrounding the greatness of what they do, and, I wish I was around years ago so I could interview people like Nambo and Tommy McCook and all the greats that came before them, you know, and people like yourself now who are doing some greatness and great music. I think we need to celebrate them a lot more, you know.
We have
There's
to.
times
We have
that
to.
even before you hear the voice of the artist, you're hearing that
Mm,
great vibration, you're hearing the trumpets, you're hearing the whatever,
mm,
which is playing. Is like we need to celebrate that a lot more,
mm,
and I'm glad you're on our show that we can get a little insight into who you are and what you do and how your brain ticks, you know, and just have that little conversation about it, And, from here on forward, we'll be paying a lot more attention to what you're doing and try to highlight that, bringing you on to, share some of your story as you go along, because
mhm.
you've got many more years ahead of you.
Mm. Good.
Amen to that.
Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Yes.
And
Yes.
thank you
Amen
for
to that.
making me get my computer fixed, because I've got Winston Reedy coming out to do some recording this week. And
Awesome.
Oh,
the computer is better than the tape recorder for me right now. So
Right.
hopefully that's going to be working.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask anybody if you would like to ask Sarah Tobias any questions. I'll put a link into the to the chat room and see
chat.
if
Yeah.
anybody would like to just come up and ask Sarah any questions. I mean, just not even particularly questions. If you just want to praise her for what she does, just say, "Hey, Sarah, I think you're the best thing since sliced bread. Now is your time."
Wow. Yeah.
And
Of
she is the
course.
best thing since sliced bread.
She
Thank
is.
you.
She is
Yeah,
without the
I'm gonna
shadow of
put the
a doubt.
I'm gonna put the link into the
Yeah. Yeah.
Sister Audrey. Bless up. How you doing? Thanks to see you here. It's Coral Reed. Nice to see you. Sheldon Hamilton. Great to see you. Big up everybody who's here. The link is in
You
the
too.
comment section. So if you like to say anything, now is your time to, say a good word or two. So feel free. So, we're going to be paying more attention to what you do because I love my instrumentals. Have
Mhm.
you ever worked with Peckins, by the way?
Yeah, in fact, a couple of these tracks on that album, it was Peckins they came from. And also I played on Alicia Scott album, that was through
That album is
Oh,
boom.
the
really?
first one, not the
Yeah.
one now, the first one.
The
First
first
one.
one.
Mm, yeah.
Okay. Brilliant album. It is a brilliant album. I have to
And
big
also
up
we
you.
played
So,
on me and Patrick put some horns on a Peckins tune, um, on the Fat Beef one, and that was on the horns ended up on Lloyd Brown on a
right.
track. So yeah, so we're on one of those as well.
What is it like working with Lloyd Brown?
Oh, fabulous! Yeah, I've worked with him live. I haven't been to his studio, but I've worked with him live quite a lot of times. Yeah,
Okay.
I was in the horn section with Patrick and Buttons and Ray Carlos. And by the
Mm,
way, no Ray Carlos isn't with us anymore, kind of on the earth, but they're doing a tribute with him tonight at Acklam Village over
right.
in London, if anybody wants to go.
Oh, mm,
Right.
Yeah,
yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah.
great working with Lloyd Brown, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Well, we're gonna anyway. Let me bring it to Sharon to say her few words, and then we'll bring the show to a close.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, I want to say
I was
big
just checking
respect
about
to
yeah.
Pauline Catlin. Bless
Oh,
up. Good to see you.
holy Catherine, yes.
Yes.
Oh, she says, hey, Sarah. Oh,
Hi.
Shezzy. That's Shezzy. Yay. Well, let me tell you, I have to say that it has been an honor speaking with you. Today was about you. We wanted to give you your flowers. For me, as an individual, if I'm going to see a show or concert or whatever, I always push my big face to the front because I always look at the musicians. I'm such an admirer of the musician and get their emotions. I get in tune to their emotions. Yes, I'm happy with the artists performing, but without you guys, they can't sound that good. You know what I mean? They cannot sound that good. So it is truly an honor to have you on here today. And multi-instrumentalists are multi-instrumentalists because you play the sax, you got the flute, you got the clarinet. What else you got? You got percussion.
Yeah, percussion.
Percussions. Did you know that she got percussions too? You know, she ain't no joke.
Oh yes, she's.
Sorry.
Yeah. See there? Just like that.
Yeah.
And she does the vocals too, you know.
Well, see, that's I was gonna come back. I was gonna come back to that because before we close, I'm like, listen, I know you do little vocals and all of that. In order for you to get melodies, do you sing it out first? You sing out, you hum it out, sing it out. Like, what do you do?
I do vocals for when I'm working with Tipper Irie and the Pioneers as well. I do backing vocals, and Johnny Osborne we did a little bit as well, and Susan Cadogan. But no, she's got because you know I'm not obviously a backing vocalist as my main thing, but I do a little bit, you know. So with the Pioneers, it's good because I do the third harmony because you know, like there's two Pioneers, and with them I get to do the third harmony, so that's nice. Yeah. So we've got some shows coming up in the next year with them. Pioneers again, Pioneers, Susan Cadogan, Johnny Osborne, Tipper Irie. Got some more shows coming up, and also Dandy Livingston as well.
Dandy Livingston, he's still going strong, right?
Yeah, and then there's lots of the new younger artists I've been working with as well, which is fantastic, you know.
Right.
And then we just did a couple of shows with John I and Scientist as well.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
And
go on.
What show brings you up to the end of the year?
Well, I'm going to be doing. I've got recording to catch up on, so I'm going to be doing. That's what I'm going to be doing. Today, I've got some recording to finish off. For Tony Roughcut from Roughcut.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to be doing that.
Okay, so let's round up, Shaz.
All right. So again, Mr. Yes. Blessings. May you always know your relevance in this world because you have changed many lives. You have enlightened many people. You've opened some minds. You know, with your style and you know about them kind of lyrics that 10-star, right? She's opened so many minds and hearts of people through her melodic tunes on whatever wind instrument that she's playing. And I honestly, I wish you all the best. I am a fan and will continue to do so. I am looking forward to what else you got going on, sister girl. So you better.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And keep up the good work with the program, with the show. I'll be following you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. And I hope that I hope you had a good time with us because you know when people say interview, right? But it wasn't talking because we want to know what's going on with you. We want people to be comfortable. Like she's a real person, you know, she's a real person. Real life, you know what I'm saying? There's no pretentious fool. So yeah, that's what we want to present. Put you in. I hope that we presented you in a good light because you're an amazing artist and a phenomenal woman.
Yeah.
Blessings, sister.
Yeah.
Peace and blessings.
Yes. You know what? I ain't letting her go unless she plays a piece. She's going to play us out with a clarinet.
Are you want me to play the clarinet?
Yeah. Anything.
Well,
So
I like the theme from Mr. Ben.
go for it.
Go on then. Got it.
Anyway, that's enough. And
God bless everyone. Thanks to Coral Reed for making the show happen. Thanks to everybody who logged in. And we're going to be back here, I do believe, on the 5th of December with Sparky Rugged. Sorry, Sparky Melody. Sparky Melody is going to be our guest. And we have a comedian coming right after him as well. So thanks to everyone. Thanks to Coral Reed for making it happen. God bless everyone. We're out of here.
good night.
Good night.